What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Burning Hammer podcast. I'm your host, Mark Izzo, and no, that is not Brian Danielson. That is your other co-host, Dillon O'Brien. Dillon, what's going on?
What's going on? That was a great comment. Left in the TikTok chat. Thought I was Brian Danielson. Love
Yes.
to hear that. I'm a big Brian Danielson fan. Easily on my top 5 ever. We were just talking about it this past weekend. So,
Yeah.
what a
Yeah.
great what a great comment to see. Made
Yeah.
sure to
And
give it a like.
it was definitely kind of crazy because we watched Full Gear on Saturday, and we were talking about like who our top like 5 wrestlers are, just for like us. And Dillon obviously loves Brian Danielson, and then I think it was the next day or two, I posted or someone commented on your TikTok, and they said that they thought you were Brian Danielson, which is awesome. I know that meant a lot to Dillon, so
Yeah, it meant a lot to me.
yeah.
I
If you
might
think
retire.
Dillon looks like Brian Danielson, drop a comment.
Yeah,
Let him know.
give it a thumbs up.
It'll do a lot of good things for him. But this might be a shorter episode. We are on the week of Thanksgiving, and so we are a bit on a time crunch. So we are just going to do the WWE Survivor Series WarGames predictions. But before we get into that, make sure you're following us on social media. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at The Burnt Hammer, and you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Burning Hammer. We're going through a bit of a brand refresh, so that's why our Instagram and TikTok handles are changed, and Twitter is pretty annoying because you can't go over 15 characters, and the Burning Hammer is 16 characters. So we're going to be the Burnt Hammer on Twitter, and we are at the Burning Hammer on Instagram and TikTok. That's the best way to stay up to date with when we release new episodes, along with get our immediate reactions to anything that happens in the professional wrestling world. And it's a good source to get all of the news, rumors, reports, anything like that, along with some fantasy booking stuff. So make sure to go over to our socials. Definitely give us a follow, and you can follow Dillon on Twitter and Instagram at DillO'Brien_wave. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MarkIzzo_wave. If you're watching us on Vendetta's YouTube, first of all, thank you. This will be the first episode of the pod that is on Vendetta Sports Media YouTube. Me and Dillon write professional wrestling for them. So head over to vendettasportsmedia.com to read all of our articles. We do previews for WWE and AEW weekly shows, along with results and reviews. We do match cards, early match card predictions, a lot of fantasy booking stuff, news reports, everything like that. Head over to vendettasportsmedia.com to get all of that good information. And you can follow Vendetta Sports Media on Twitter at VendettaVSM, and follow them on Instagram and TikTok at Vendetta Sports Media. With that being said, let's get into some War Games predictions. I am your reigning, defending, Burning Hammer predictions champion. I secured the title following the Full Gear predictions. That was probably one of the most predictions that we had disagreements on. And it was a great pay-per-view. We don't have time to fully discuss it, but
You see, the thing is, when I don't believe that you truly deserve the title based off your predictions, I will keep it in my possession with its rightful owner, the real champion. You cheated.
Well, you have an opportunity to win back your prestigious
I'm the heel.
championship.
I stole the belt. Don't you get it?
Yeah. Don't you guys get it?
This happens all the time.
It just happened with Jade
Yeah,
Cargill and Nyla Rose, actually.
I'm the real predictions champ.
Yeah, you're Nyla Rose and I'm Jade Cargill, which I'll take any day of the week. So
For now.
there are only right now 5 announced matches for the card, but you said before on the Raw review that they're likely to do the Miz versus Dexter Lumis for Dexter Lumis's WWE contract, right?
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't put that officially on the card, but they're talking about it as if it's on the card.
Yeah, and
Like, The Miz and Gargano are talking about it as if it's already on the card.
yeah, so that'll likely get announced. But we're recording this prior to Friday Night SmackDown, which is the go home SmackDown. So a lot of things could get added to the card. I can't imagine them doing a whole lot more, because there's already 5 matches, and 2 of them are the War Games, which take some time. So if anything, they are likely to add the Miz versus Dexter Lumis. So we're going to give you our predictions for that. So
Yeah, I would be surprised if they added anything besides that.
yeah, they usually do about 6 matches,
Yeah.
let alone this being the War Games
Mhm.
pay-per-view. So let's get started. Hypothetically speaking, The Miz taking on Dexter Lumis. If it goes down, Dexter Lumis will earn a contract with WWE. He is not technically under contract with the company. If he wins, he will be. This has been an entertaining storyline to say the least. Dylan, who do you think is coming out on top?
Well, I'm assuming this match is going to go down like we said, and it's got to be Dexter Loomis. And I'm kind of over this storyline at this point. It was really interesting at first, and like I said, I watch Raw every week, and I watch Raw in depth and take notes every week. So, when I watch Raw, I watch it as a wrestling fan, but I watch it from a perspective as I'm doing a job when I'm watching Raw and I'm breaking down what I watch and what I see. And I get to watch it more as a fan when I watch other stuff since I don't have to do the weekly review and stuff. But with Raw, like this storyline started, and I'm just saying that because, like I said, I'm being very critical of it, but this storyline started as really interesting and it's really just dragging on like so long. Like it should have been figured out by now. It's just too long. So hopefully Dexter Loomis gets a W here. I'm gonna go with that. So I'm gonna take Dexter Loomis getting his contract with the WWE, and then hopefully move on from this.
Yeah, I completely agree. I Dexter Loomis is definitely an interesting character. I wasn't the hugest fan of him in NXT, but I did enjoy it, and I do think he brings an interesting character to the table. But like you said, I think this feud needs to end, and I think it is going to end. And I'm predicting Dexter Loomis to come out on top against The Miz. Personally, I would like to see him do something with probably Bray Wyatt, but we'll have to see where that goes. I just think you have such a weird and original character like Dexter Loomis that it's going to be interesting to see what they sort of do with him following this feud. But Dylan and I are in agreement. We're taking Dexter Loomis. He has to come out on top, or else I guess he's not going to be a part of WWE anymore. So moving on, we have an incredible match on paper. This is AJ Styles taking on Finn Balor. This match is going to be definitely one to watch, and it has potential to be match of the night for sure. Um, I have enjoyed what both of these guys have been doing, especially with the OC coming back. And a quick note, Carl Anderson is going to be defending his never open weight championship. Um, I'm not sure I can't remember the exact date, but it's definitely happening because he posted a video on Twitter. So that's definitely something worth noting. But Dylan, who do you have coming out on top? AJ Styles or Finn Balor?
Yeah, so this one's kind of hard to this one's kind of hard for me to tell exactly what direction they're going to go here. But I'm going to go with Finn Balor. I do think Finn Balor's going to end up getting the W here. And I think he needs it more than AJ here. I think both men would, benefit greatly from a win, but I think Finn would probably benefit a little bit more. And I think he would also probably be hurt a little bit more by a loss. So I'm gonna take Finn here, and I'm really excited for this match, and I'm curious to see if they're gonna end this storyline here, or if they're gonna keep it going. My thought would probably be that it probably ends here between the OC and the Judgment Day, but we'll see. But I'm gonna go with Finn Balor.
Yeah. This is a definitely a tough one for me as well, but I think I'm taking Finn Balor also because I still think they're trying to build up the Judgment Day, and I think having
Agreed.
Finn Balor come out on top would do more. And like you said, I think AJ can afford the loss, and I hope this is the end of it because I want AJ to move on to possibly going after a title, maybe a main event title. So
Mm.
um AJ Styles, there's an really interesting stat that said AJ Styles hasn't won a singles match on a premium live event in like 3 years.
Holy fuck. Yeah, wow.
Um, yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this match, but I am going to also take Finn Balor, and this match has the potential to be match of the night. So definitely make sure to watch this one because it is going to be incredible.
Very long history between the men in
Of
this
course.
match.
Which always makes the match that much better, and they're going to have really good chemistry. So,
Absolutely.
following this match, we have another really good match, which is Austin Theory taking on Bobby Lashley, taking on the United States champion Seth Rollins in a triple threat match for the United States Championship. This was a recent addition, and this was one that we predicted that they were going to likely add, and they did. I'm sure they probably watched the podcast and
Mhm.
that's why they added it to the card. But who do you think is going to come out on top here?
Mark, I'd actually, if you don't mind, I'd actually like to see if I can get your thoughts on this before I see if you
Do it.
want to go first on this one.
Yeah, so this is going to be a pretty I mean, is this has a lot of potential to be an awesome match. Like we've been saying, Seth Rollins is on top of the world right now, one of the best in WWE currently. Bobby Lashley recently turned heel, which is something that I don't think he necessarily needed, but I thought it was a good move for him to do. And Austin Theory, like we said last week, has had an attitude change, and I think that's desperately something that he needed to go through and needed to do to grow as a wrestler and as a character. So this is definitely a big time match, a big money match between three pretty big stars on the rise in WWE. But I'm taking Seth Rollins. I don't think they're going to take the title off of him yet. I think they're probably going to do it like a sneaky sort of win, which is usually how triple threat matches go. I think Lashley's probably going to do a lot of the damage in this match. We might see Theory and Seth team up to try to take down Bobby, but I think Bobby's probably going to dominate for most of the match, and then Seth is going to come in and take the win in like a sneaky fashion last minute to secure his United States Championship. What about you?
Yeah, so part of the reason I wanted you to talk about it first was because hearing your opinion would kind of help me make sense of mine. And I really think so. As I talk, I can't even make my prediction yet. I just got to keep talking and then I'll figure it out because part of me really wants to pick Austin Theory to win this match. And dude, like I said, like I watch Raw from a very critical standpoint. I watch Raw and I grade everything they do. I specifically look at it as from a very critical standpoint. And Austin Theory has been putting in great work these last 2 weeks. I'm not like, and I know it's only 2 weeks. I don't know if that's enough to just say, you know what, fuck it, just put it on him. But I mean, he delivered a great promo against Lashley. Probably one of the best promos I've ever heard Austin Theory cut. And well, like I said, he's doing really good stuff right now. He's so aggressive and he's so focused. You could tell he's making a lot of sense of every single thing he's doing. He's not doing anything for no reason. He's he's explaining and it doesn't everything makes sense kind of when he explains it. Like I said, the thought here for me is that if I go against Seth, then it's like I really don't think they're going to take the title off Seth, but it would be a pretty crazy swerve to have Austin Theory win this match. And you see, another thing that worries me with this match too, not worries me. I wonder if I know you think he's pretty much out of it. I really do wonder if Mustafa Ali is going to get involved because he had a
Like in
match.
the get added to the match or get involved in the match as
I
like
think get involved in the match, not added to the match, but involved to the match because like I said, he's been in the storyline. Like he's been wrapped in this basically the whole time. Still never got his US title shot. And this past Monday, they announced a triple threat, and then they have Theory versus Mustafa Ali on Monday. And it's not a squash match by any means. Theory does get the win, but part of the reason he got the win is because Ali was working a rib injury from just being fucking brutalized these last few weeks. Um, neither meant like it was a solid match. Like Theory picked up the win, but it did Ali didn't look weak by any means. And then after that, that's when Bobby came down and Theory and Bobby like exchanged words and stuff, and then they went in with a brawl. Theory began running backstage through Ali, like which Ali was just backstage from after the match, threw him into Bobby and like ran away, and then Bobby just beat the fuck out of Ali again. Um, so that's what makes me wonder, and I'm just like, and they really are pushing like the thing of like this Ali guy is just crazy. He just does not quit. Like he just doesn't know. So that does it does actually play a role in this match. I do think I don't think it would be the craziest thing in the world if Mustafa Ali got involved in the end of this match and maybe we got a fatal four way at Royal Rumble or something like that. I don't know. But I'm gonna go with Austin Theory to win this match and to win the United States Championship in this match. I do think it's kind of crazy, and I'm not going to be surprised at all if he doesn't win. And this might be the match that makes me lose the predictions. But I also thought, you know what? It would be really fucking cool to get this right, I feel like.
yeah, I
So
don't
that
think it's that crazy of a prediction. I don't think I'm not trying to like completely count out Bobby, but I think if it's not Seth, it's probably going to be Theory.
yeah, yeah, I would see I'm gonna go with Theory. I think my worry with it is that it might be a little bit too soon. You are seeing really good stuff from him and stuff, and it looks like he's kind of on an upward trajectory. It might be Triple H might just be like, "Fuck it, like just let's see if it works." Like this is Theory's chance to see if he's really has the potential to like be a star, or if we gotta like hit the refresh with this guy. Like this might be, you know what I mean, like trial by
Yeah.
fire kind of thing. Like yo, let's figure it out now because you know what I mean? He was hand chosen by Vince, not Triple H. Not that Triple H doesn't like him by any means. So we'll see. I'm going to go with Austin Theory to pick up the win here.
All right. Again, this is going to be a really good match,
Yeah.
so definitely make sure to watch it. I would say
Can I?
three of the top stars in the company, and three guys who are going through some pretty big character changes. So it's definitely one worth watching.
Yes. And I'll just say this seriously, everybody watching, do not be surprised in this match if Mustafa Ali gets involved and if Austin Theory ends up leaving the United States champion because of it.
Exactly. And one last thing, it is going to be interesting to see sort of what the United States Championship title picture is following this. Who's going to still go after it? What's going to unfold? Because this is the last premium live event until the Royal Rumble. So it'll definitely be interesting to see where everyone heads from here. But following that one, we have Ronda Rousey defending her SmackDown Women's Championship against Shotzi. Dill, on an excitement level for this match, how excited are you for this?
Well, one, I think less excited for the match, more excited that Shotzi's in the match, if that makes sense. I'm really excited that Shotzi's getting a title shot. She deserves it. She's really talented. And yeah, I'm more excited at the fact that Shotzi's getting a little bit of a push here, getting put on in a singles match in a premium live event. This is gonna be your first match in a premium live event. First
Yeah,
singles match, definitely.
yeah. Yeah, and I'll say, um, I don't think this match is going to go very long,
Me
but
either. And I do think Shotzi will take a pretty hard loss, probably.
I agree. And I think this is just like a filler match because I think we are due, and I said it before, but I think we are due for the Charlotte Flair return, and I think she's going to go after the SmackDown Women's Championship. But following this pay per view, it's sort of the build to the Rumble and then also to Mania. So I wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte Flair returns during any part of this or in the following weeks or so leading up to the Royal Rumble. I'm also taking Ronda Rousey to come out on top. I don't think it's going to be necessarily a squash match, but I think Ronda's going to be pretty dominant throughout. I think Shotzi's probably going to get a small flurry of offense in, but I think Ronda's just going to overcome it and then ultimately make her tap out. And maybe Shayna Baszler will get involved as well. But I'm not that excited for this match. I think it's probably going to be easily under 10 minutes, possibly less than 6 minutes long. And like I said, I just think it's a filler match to lead to something else following this premium live event. But there you have it. Me and Dillon are both taking Ronda Rousey to come out on top. Following that, we have one of the more anticipated matches of the night. And there's a lot revolving this. We have the Women's War Games match, which is Bailey, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley taking on Mia Yim, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Bianca Belair, and a mystery opponent, which is going to be revealed on Friday night SmackDown, which is going to be interesting to see who they pick. I wrote an article, which was 5 people that could be their final member, and I think I had 5 really good options, but before we get into the match and who we think is going to win, Dillon, who do you think is going to be the final member of Team Bianca? If you had to put the mortgage of your house on it, if you had to put everything on it, who do you think is going to be the final member?
If I had to put my money on it, I do think I would go with Candice LeRae, even though it's a little predictable and whatnot. I do think that's gonna be the direction they go, or they could be swerving us because Candice LeRae is the super obvious choice here. So they could be swerving us. Everyone's expecting Candice LeRae and then booming somebody else. But if I had to put my money on it, I'd put it on Candice.
I said it last week, maybe the week prior, and I wrote it in the article. I think it's going to be Tegan Knox.
Mhm.
I know that like today or yesterday, there was reports from Fightful that Becky Lynch is expected to be the final member. I don't know how true that is. I feel like Becky, I don't know her timetable for her return, so I don't know how long she's going to be out, but she was nursing a shoulder injury. I think it's going to be Tegan Knox. I've been saying it. I got to stay on brand. I got to stay consistent. I still do think it's Tegan Knox. I think it's probably most likely going to be Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae was already involved in the storyline. The Damage Control are the ones that actually put her on the shelf with an
Mhm.
injury a few weeks or maybe a month ago. But I'm taking Tegan Knox because it's being reported before that WWE was interested in bringing her back, and her and Dakota Kai have some history together. Dakota Kai famously turned on Tegan Knox, her best friend, at NXT TakeOver War Games in 2019. So I think it's gonna be Tegan Knox is gonna be the final member, and I think even if she isn't the final member, I do think WWE should bring her back because she is fairly young and she is a really talented wrestler. But if you want to see who else, I thought it could be. Make sure to go read that article again at vendettasportsmedia.com to check that out. But Dillon, who do you think is going to come out on top?
Um, one. I have a quick question, real quick. War Games. It's not elimination, right?
Right. The match. All right. So here's a brief explanation of War Games. They sort of mixed it with Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Um, so usually War Games is 4 members, but this year they integrated Survivor Series, which is 5 members. So 4 members of each team start in a cage that is by the entranceway, and then you have 2 people starting in the match. War Games is 2 rings right next to each other, enclosed in a giant steel cage, and I want to say 5 minutes or so, a new member of one of the teams comes in. So that's why it's big to get the advantage, because it's going to turn
Mhm.
into a 2-on-1 for one of them.
Oh, Team
Um,
Bianca does have advantage. Or no, doesn't have advantage. Team Damage Control has advantage for this match too, by the way.
yeah. So that's big because it's
Rhea
going to be
Ripley got the win over Asuka.
one person from each team is going to start in the ring, and then after I wanted to say 5 minutes or so, someone from Team Damage Control is going to enter the match, thus creating a 2-on-1 situation. But the match does not start until all members of both teams are in the ring, and then it is just no DQ, anything like that. Pinfall or submission is the only way to win.
Like
Again, if you
first
haven't,
team to score a pinfall or submission, right?
yep.
Yeah.
And if you haven't watched a War Games match, go back and watch any NXT War Games matches. They're always really good. But if you want to go even older, you can head over and check out some WCW old school War Games matches, because that is where the match originated from. But I'm taking Team Damage Control to come out on top. I just think it makes a lot of sense, and I don't know. I think they're gonna come out with a win. One thing I do want to note really quick is a dark horse of something that could happen. It's not my official predictions, but don't be surprised. I think there is a slight chance that this could happen, that both Sasha Banks and Naomi return for this match. um Former SmackDown or former women's tag team champions. They haven't been in WWE in, I want to say, like 5 or 6 months or so. They're going out, they're doing their own thing, proving that they are much more than professional wrestlers. But they're both still under contract, and recently Alexa Bliss has sort of shown signs that she doesn't want to be involved in this match. There is a good shot of, I think it was 2 Raws ago, where Team Bianca all were like standing together, and Alexa Bliss was sort of off to the side, distancing herself. And then Corey Graves also commented on the fact that he doesn't think that Bliss is looking like she doesn't want to be in the War Games match. There's been all the stuff happening with Bray Wyatt, with his moth logo appearing around Alexa Bliss. So I wouldn't be surprised if Alexa Bliss drops out of the War Games match, and then both Sasha Banks and Naomi um, enter. I don't know how likely it is. I think there is a chance that that could happen, but I think Damage Control comes out on top. Who do you think is going to win the match?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Team Damage Control as well. And I think Rhea is gonna pin Bianca for the win.
Mm. I also forgot to mention that. That's
Yeah.
also what I think too, because I think that's going to set up the match for the
For
Rumble
Rumble, probably.
and
And
maybe
then
even WrestleMania, but we'll see.
yeah. Yeah, I mean they could do the rematch at Mania. I was thinking they could also do Rhea and Charlotte at Mania again and finally have Rhea beat Charlotte. Um
Yeah.
yeah.
This is going to be, again, I just said it, but if you haven't watched a War Games match, they're a lot of fun. I'm definitely gonna watch some before heading into the show, just to get myself pumped up for it. But definitely make sure to do it. And like I said, read my article on vendettasportsmedia.com to see other members who I think could potentially be the final member for Team Bianca, which we will be learning who that is on Friday Night SmackDown. So heading into the other match, the men's War Game match, is the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and Roman Reigns taking on Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Butch, Rich Holland, and Sheamus. This match is going to be incredible. If you're, again, War Games, incredible match. You put all of these stars into the ring, and this is going to be a lot of fun. I think. All right, you got to go, because I haven't quite decided who I think is going to come out on top yet. But who do you think is going to win?
Mm. Damn, dude, this one's gonna be fun, dude. This one's gonna be interesting because, first of all, Solo Sikoa and Butch have to start this match.
I think, yeah, I think it's either going to be them or Solo and Drew.
I think just I just said that Solo and Butch just because I want that. Like, I want that to be the start. Like,
Yeah,
that would be fucking awesome.
it makes the most sense because
They
they're
would
two of
just
the
beat
guys
the
that just
shit
want
out of
to
each other
fight.
too. Yeah, and they would.
And
Oh god, it would be awesome.
Butch has competed in a WarGames match before,
Mhm.
along with Kevin Owens. So this is going to be incredible. We love Solo Sikoa on the Burning Hammer.
Hell yeah.
I think I know I tweeted it before, but so I got to follow us on Twitter. But after this Bloodline stuff is done, I would like to see Paul Heyman manage Solo Sikoa.
Mm.
I think that would be sick. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think Solo has a very bright future ahead of him, but this one's tough for me because I think we are slowly approaching the demise of the bloodline, and I
I think
don't
so
know.
too. That's why it's
I don't
hard for
it's
me.
hard it's hard to determine when that's going to happen.
Mhm.
Um because obviously I think all of the matches are going to come to a crossroads at WrestleMania. So it's hard to tell if they're going to do it now or in the following weeks. I I made up my mind.
Yeah,
I
me
do
too.
think I'm taking the bloodline.
Yeah, me
Um
too.
I don't I don't think you can have them really lose.
This is their
Although
first match together as like the
five,
bloodline. You know what
yeah,
I
as
mean?
a
Like,
team. Um and I'm also super pumped. We're going to get Sammy and KO standoff, and I think they're gonna have
yeah,
the classic just throwing haymakers at each other.
I
That's gonna
think.
be awesome.
Yeah, I think Sammy might like accidentally cost his team, or like might accident like is gonna almost accidentally cost his team the loss and then doesn't or something.
Yeah. I think
Because he like didn't kick KO or something. Like he had
yeah,
KO for a haluva kick or something, and then like he like just didn't do it. Like, and then like whatever, somebody like, and then he got hit with, and then he gets hit with something, and then like um the rest of the bloodline maybe save the day and pick up the win anyway, or something like that. Or
yeah,
it'd be
and
even crazy if Jay almost loses the match and then Sammy saves him and wins it for the bloodline.
yeah, that would also be interesting. I think
What if
I
Sammy picks up the pin?
that would be sick.
I almost think it might happen.
I think I don't know, it's tough. I think the only way that Team Brawling Brutes are going to win is if Sammy hesitates to do the right thing. Because that's the only thing. That's what I was trying to figure out. If it's gonna the demise of the bloodline, if it's gonna start now, then it's gonna be because Sami Zayn couldn't pull the trigger, and then that's sort of when it's gonna snowball. But I just think it's a little too early for that to happen.
Me too.
Um, but I also wouldn't be surprised if, like you said, Sammy has an opportunity to just take KO out of the picture, but then doesn't do it, but they still pick up the win,
Mhm.
thus creating that fracture in the group
Yeah, I
and the
think that's
Roots moving
probably
into it.
your most likely scenario. I also wanted to make sure, I think they're probably I feel like we're gonna get Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. Um, because
That'd
they
be sick.
had
They had a great match a year or two ago, I think.
yeah, and they well when Kevin Owens came back on Raw, I don't know if you watched Raw on Monday, but he cut his promo and he was like, "There's one man that's the reason I'm in this match, and it's not Sami Zayn. Like that man is Roman Reigns." He was like, "I want the title." Like, so there really seems like they're, and it kind of seems like they're based on the vibe I got from Monday, from the segment on Monday. First of all, just want to say this. Like this was us getting those five together as like in a real like segment. Such a fun team. I mean, like really
Yeah.
such a fun team. Like Kevin Owens was on commentary. They had a 6-man tag match, Braun and Bruce versus Judgment Day. Kevin Owens was on commentary. He's so good at commentary.
Yeah.
There was a funny spot like there was just like an all out brawl after the match, and Drew McIntyre kept looking for something to do, but like everybody was just being beaten up basically. So he was just like standing there, and then he just like sat down like next to Corey Graves, and he was like, "This is nice." He was like, "I'm usually a lone wolf type. I don't really have to do much right now." And he like kicked up his feet while like there was just like a brawl going on. That was really funny. But like I said,
Yeah,
I just wanted to make it was such a fun group. But the vibe I got was that like KO is kind of the leader of this crew. Um, which kind of makes sense. He's been in the War Games before, and especially if they're going to be pushing him versus Roman, which makes sense because then you have him versus Roman at Royal Rumble, and there's so much that could happen there with Sammy being involved still. So, um, don't
definitely.
think I would be surprised if that was the direction they go at all.
Yeah, and it's oh man, I'm just really excited for this
Yeah,
match.
dude, this
I
match,
love War Games matches.
I am, I will not be able to watch it with you, unfortunately.
What?
Uh,
Why?
because unless you want to come down the shore.
Eh, it's all good.
But I'll be at my mom's house for Thanksgiving weekend. We're going down to my mom's house down the shore.
Nice. Are you gonna watch it live?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it for sure.
Nice.
Um
Yeah. It's all right. I'll watch it by myself. Wouldn't be the
yeah,
first
no.
time.
No, dude, I'm bummed as well. Trust me.
It's all good. But make sure to head over to our social media
We
again.
just went through our personal like plans on the fucking I don't know why I did that, sorry.
It's all good.
Anyway,
Make sure to
yeah.
follow the
The
pod
Burnt Boys.
on Twitter at the Burnt Hammer. I will be live tweeting over there. So definitely make sure to follow us on there. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Burning Hammer. We are more than just a podcast. We post a bunch of fantasy stuff along with news, reports, anything like that, anything involving professional wrestling. Make sure to follow us on our social media. You can follow Dillon on Twitter and Instagram at DillO'Brien_wave. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Markizzo_wave. That's the best way to get our initial, immediate reactions to anything that happens in the world of professional wrestling. And it's the best way to stay up to date with when we release new articles. We write for Vendetta Sports Media. Make sure to follow them on Twitter at Vendetta VSM. Follow them on Instagram and TikTok at Vendetta Sports Media. Make sure to check out their website, vendettasportsmedia.com. Like I said earlier, me and Dillon do a ton of stuff. We do the previews for AEW and WWE weekly shows, along with results and reviews for the weekly shows. We do early match card predictions, match card betting odds for the pay per views, along with some other fantasy booking stuff and news, rumors, reports, anything involving professional wrestling. Make sure to head over to vendettasportsmedia.com to read all of that good stuff. If you're watching on Vendetta's YouTube, thank you. Make sure to go over to the Burning Hammer YouTube and subscribe to us as well.
Hell yeah.
And if you're listening via audio streaming service, we are on anywhere where you listen to podcasts. The audio version is on there as well. Make sure to leave us a review along with following and subscribing, whatever it is that your audio streaming service does. But this has been a great episode. I'm going to be defending the Burning Hammer Predictions Championship against Dillon O'Brien. And we're going to see who comes out on top. Will I retain? Will we
And it's all
crown
gonna come down to the US title match.
Yeah, for sure. And if you have any ideas on how we should adjust maybe some scoring or something for the predictions, make sure to let us know. We are all ears.
Hell yeah.
All right. It's been another great episode of the Burning Hammer podcast. I'm Mark Izzo. He's Dillon O'Brien. And this has been another episode of the Burning Hammer podcast. We will catch you next week.